Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I made your bracelets. Mason, this one, you can see this big one I made for myself. And then I made you like a smaller one. And what I wanted to show you was that I'm going to be sending you this ruler, personalized ruler. But what I wanted to show you was what you have to do is measure whatever your wrist is. And if you look here, from the knot to the tip, Mason, I made yours at 7.5. Landon's we're going to make 8. And that's what we're going to show you in this video, is how to make Landon's. But, so hopefully this will fit you. I kind of use Lissa's wrist as a guide. But, you know, obviously you just fold it over and then you put the knot end through these loops, and that will hold the bracelet in place when you put it on your arm. Okay, just like mine. Mine's the same way. I got that knot through the loop, and it should hold on there. So hopefully this will fit you, but if not, I am going to send you the materials, obviously, to make your own. So I've got you these 2 colors, okay, and if you like making these, I can send you more colors. But these are the 2 colors I have. These are 25-foot lengths. So each one of these should make 3 to 4 bracelets. Okay. And now the smaller bracelet I made out of this material. Okay. This is 50 feet long. So this should make like maybe 5 or 6 bracelets. Alright. So the first thing we have to do is we have to take our string here, and we have to measure it a certain length, okay? Now, the ruler here is 12 inches long, so we need 2 pieces of string. So what I'm going to do is just take the string on one end of the ruler and then on the other, and I know that is 12 inches, okay? So if I come back down here, that's 24 inches. And then if I come down here, 24 plus 12 is 36 inches. Okay? So 3 12-inch lengths. And then we're going to take a pair of scissors, and that is going to be how long we need for our first one. Okay, so the first string we need, that's how long it is. So now we take that string, and we're just going to make one that's twice as long. Okay, so we're just going to pull that through, pull that through, pull that through till we find the end. So there's the end. Then we're going to fold that over, and then we're going to pull it through again. Okay, that will make it twice as long. Okay, so now we get down to the end here, and there it is, twice as long, right? But we're going to, because Landon's is going to be a little bit bigger, we're just going to make it just a little bit longer, okay? Maybe another ruler length, just to make sure that we have enough string for the length we need on Landon's. So let's go ahead and cut that. All right. So now we have our 2 pieces, one's short and one's long, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take both ends of our string, and we're going to find the center point. So I've got my long one here at the moment. Let me get this other string out of our way here. So I've got the long one at the moment. Okay, so there's the center point right there. And you can see, if I go back to my other end, that those 2 points are lined up. Okay, so that's my center point on this one. Then I'm going to take my short string here, and I am going to do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to take our short string and find the ends just like that. Okay, like so. Find the center. Now, one thing I kind of skipped over that you should do is, if you're making one for your mom or for Matt or for Irie, whatever, and what you need to do is you need to wrap this around their wrist and find out how long, how much string it takes to go all the way around their wrist. So let's say it was that much. Okay, measure that on the ruler. So let's just grab our ruler real quick. So let's say their wrist here, let's say it was, let's say if you're making one for Irie, let's say her wrist was 6.5 inches. The string to go all the way around her wrist is exactly 6.5 inches. Whatever that dimension is, you add an inch to it. Okay, so if you're making one for your mom and her wrist is 7 inches, then her bracelet needs to be 8. Okay? Pretty simple. So, to make the bracelet, what we're going to do is, we already found our center point. So we're going to put the two strings together, like so. And that's the center point, okay? That's going to be our center loop on the one side of the bracelet. Now, here's the thing that's really super tricky. This first knot that we're going to make is really super tricky, okay? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your short string is here in the middle, and then you have a long string on the right, and you have a long string on the left, okay? This loop needs to be pretty small, because needs to be big enough to hold the knot, but small enough where the knot won't easily come back out, right? So here we go. So watch this a few times over. I'm going to do it several times for you so you have a good understanding of how this simple knot works. This knot is called the cobra knot, okay? And once you have this basic knot figured out, there's all kinds of other knots you can make. King cobra and diamonds and, oh, there's so many different ones, okay? So our two short strings are here in the middle, and then we have a long string. So you see how I made that loop just like that? I just come over. Maybe your grandma will help you with this. Maybe your mom will. I don't know. But so you come over, okay? You make that loop, and then with our other string, we have to come on top. Okay, so you see how we're coming on top? And then we have to go under everything and come up through that loop that we made on the first side. Okay? Now, like I said, this first part is a little confusing, right? But you can see how we got our knot now. So you see what that knot looks like? We came over, and then on this side, we came over this one, under those two, and through that loop. And we're just going to pull it tight. Okay? Now, it's still pretty loose at this point, which it will be, because that's only half a knot. Okay? Now, we came over, so now we just need to do the opposite. We'll make the loop here. On the left, we'll come over the top, under the two in the middle, and up through the loop. And I'm going to do this a bunch of times so you get a good understanding. Now we have to pull it tight. Okay? We just pull it as tight as we can. Something like that. Okay? Now we have to kind of finesse these loops up here, because see how we kind of messed them up a little bit. Alright? So what you want to do is you want to make that knot smaller, first of all, so you can move it up as much as you need to. See that? We can make it smaller, 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 smaller until you think it's small enough. And what I like to do, I did on mine anyhow, is I kind of made one loop that was a little bit bigger and one loop that I knew that was going to be really snug. So you could do that if you want to also. So see how we kind of fix those? And we did that by just pulling on the long ones here So we get that loop tight again. And there you go. That's going to be our loop at the end of Landon's bracelet. Now let's look at this closely and see which side we came over. You can see here, if you look closely, we came over this way. So now we're going to do a loop on the right, or excuse me, it'd be on the left. And then our right, we go over the top and then under. Okay, we'll pull that through. And pull it tight. Okay, now we came through, so now we're going to come here on the right, over, under, through, all the way through. Okay, so you see how it's kind of coming together? So we're going to go over the top, under the middle, through the loop. Okay, so now you can see it's coming over this way. So we go over, under, through the loop. And I can tell you, the girls, they figured this out in no time, man. They've been making bracelets like crazy. Okay, so there you go. So you see how it's all coming together now? So we just repeat that process quite a little bit. It does this one because this string is so small that we have to do this quite a few times to get the whole length. See there? And if you look on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of videos on how to do this, and all the other knots and stuff that you could do is pretty cool. And also, you can make like dog collars. The girls are working on a dog collar for Max. But you can make dog collars. You can make all kinds of things. Keychains and things like that. You can have, you know, if you just watch some YouTube videos here. But there you go. You see there? We're getting it slow but sure there. See that? So the big thing is you just got to really pay attention to what side your string is last on, and then do the opposite side. So if it's coming over to the right, you got to start on the left. If it's coming over on the left, like it is now, it's coming to my left, then I got to start on the left. See? Over, under, and through. Over and over and over again. Okay? And then back over this way. And then back over this way. Okay? So hopefully you get the idea now of how this is supposed to go. So we make a loop, we go over the top and back through our loop. And then we pull it tight, then we go make a loop, over the top and through. And eventually, you know, it'll just kind of be automatic, like it goes pretty quick. Once you really get the hang of doing it, you'll see it. It'll all go through pretty quickly. I think I made a mistake there, actually. Let me pull that back out. I think I missed it. It's acting funny, so I missed something there. So, yes, so go that way. I think I missed going over the top or something, because it was, when I was pulling it tight, it was acting a little goofy. Now, see? That came back perfectly now. So it came over here to the right, so I got to start on the right. Over. And through. So you can see how many times we have to do this to get the full length of Landon's bracelet. And like I said, I want Landon's bracelet to be just a little bit bigger than yours. And yours was 7.5. And of course I was just guessing. But mine is 9. Okay, just for an example. And Michelle's, hers was 9. And Abby's was 8. I think maybe 8.5 even. So that's why I was going to make Landon's 8. Because I think that will fit him pretty close. Okay. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this recording. I'll finish up Landon's bracelet here as far as all the weaving, and then I will show you how to finish it off when I get it to the proper length. I'm probably like, I don't know, maybe halfway there already. And the other thing you can do too, if you watch some of those YouTube videos, you can use different color strings. And like I said, they have all kinds of different, this is called the Cobra pattern. But this is the most basic common pattern. But there's a lot of different patterns you can learn. And when you use different colors, those can look really cool too. So, once you really learn what you're doing, all kinds of different stuff you can make. Alright, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to finish weaving his bracelet, and then I'll show you how to finish it off at the end. Alright, so we have the length that we need. So let's just double check here on the ruler. So you can see that we're right at just at 8 inches. So on Mason's, notice where the knot is on Mason's. On Mason's, we kind of left just a little bit of string there. And on Landon's, I'm going to try and make the knot tighter to the bracelet. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what we're going to do. Alright, so what we need to do now is these 2 strings, which are our long strings, what we need to do is we need to just go ahead and just take a pair of scissors and cut those kind of close, like, I don't know, we'll just leave a little bit hanging out there, okay? And then what we need to do to make sure they don't unravel, now get your grandma to help with this or something, don't be burning the house down, but we just need to, right there at the end of the, just kind of singe the end there a little bit, okay? And this is nylon rope, so it's going to melt really easily. I don't know if you could see that very well, but it's going to melt really easily. Doesn't take much. And you want to be careful that you don't actually catch it on fire. So just little short bursts, a little bit at a time, like so. And then it could drip on you too. Now it cools down really fast, but so just do be careful, a little bit careful of that. So I would definitely not be doing that without your grandma supervising, or your mom, or Matt, or somebody. And then what I want to show you is, you know, you're going to have some waste. That's not much of a string of waste, but and that's what we did that like 8 foot long. So you're going to have some waste. but that's okay. Okay, so there's that. So then all we have to do is simply take the 2 strings over your finger like that and simply create a knot. And I'm going to try and get it as close to the end here as we can. So what I'm going to do is undo that knot just a little bit. Like so. And we'll slide it up there. And I think that'll work. I'm going to leave just a tiny little space. See there? Just a tiny little space. But I think that'll work fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut off my excess. Just like we did. Right? And again, you're just going to have just a short little length of scrap. And then we'll take our lighter, under supervision, of course, and we'll just kind of singe those wires or those threads a little bit. You can kind of see what happens to them. They kind of get all together like that. Being how it's an eyeliner rope. Just a few seconds at a time. Close those off. And then, we should be able to put that knot right through those end loops like that. Right? And then we have our bracelet. Okay, and the main thing when you're making these bracelets is that end loop. You want it to be, you know, fairly small. Did you see how much play there is there? Now, when it's on your wrist, you're going to have a little bit of tension. Okay, and so, you know, you can that knot will hold, but these loops could just be just a little bit smaller. But the tighter those loops are, the harder it is going to get that knot there. So it's kind of a bit of a catch-22 there. So there you go. That is how you make those. So I'm going to send you this packet. This color is color gold. And so this has 50 feet. So you'll be able to make 4 or 5 bracelets. And then I'm going to send you this big stuff too, where you can make the big thick ones, like I have right here. Okay, so I'll let you try those out and see what you guys think. But they're pretty cool. And we've got the girls have all kinds of colors. So they got purple, and they have pink, and the big stuff is the lime green. So then they have a really dark purple. So it comes in all kinds, and then this one's kind of cool. It's all multicolored, but they're more girly colors. Let's see here, what else do I have? Oh, I have an orange, bright orange. And I think I got it in black also. So, and I will show you this. I don't have, maybe I'll send you a few of these too. But you could use these little buckles, right? See there? And have a little buckle. So maybe I'll send you the black ones or something. Or if they have a green color in here, that'll go good with these too. So, give it a shot. Try it out.